Modern life places a relentless demand on anyone who claims to believe in God. You are expected to step up to the microphone and justify your faith to a highly skeptical world. The questions are standard. Prove, empirically, that God exists. Demonstrate that your ancient texts align with modern scientific consensus. For decades, scholars and apologists have scrambled to answer this call. They have engineered elaborate arguments, trying to find a way to make Islam acceptable to the modern secular mind. But living on the defensive takes a toll. It turns the religious experience into a permanent state of apology, fighting a battle on ground that is already slipping away. The problem is not the quality of the arguments. The problem is that answering these questions directly is a trap. By speaking a single word in your own defense, you have already lost the case. These demands are flawed because they are downstream questions. They focus on the results of a logic rather than the source of it. A downstream question silently assumes the answer to a much larger hidden premise. It sneaks in an assumption about who is actually in charge of reality. When you rush to prove your faith aligns with modern thought, you are silently conceding to a hidden hierarchy. You are agreeing that human intellect is the ultimate authority over revelation. Think of the modern debate around God as taking place inside an invisible courtroom. It is an arena designed to create a specific imbalance of power. The moment you step into this space to offer your proofs, you are accepting the role of the defendant on trial. Faith is placed in the dock, asked to justify its existence to the court. This setup grants autonomous human reason the role of supreme judge. It sets the standards for evidence. Proving the existence of Allah within this paradigm is a contradiction. The system is designed so nothing can be higher than the judge. Successfully proving faith inside a secular framework doesn't validate God. It validates secularism as the ultimate measure of truth. The real intellectual move is not to submit better evidence to the judge, it is to audit the judge. We have to look at the capacity of reason itself. Reason is a sharp tool. It can analyze physical data, infer patterns, and solve mechanical problems with incredible precision, but it has a hard limit. Reason can compare and object, but it cannot establish an absolute metaphysical truth on its own. It cannot see what lies beyond its own reach. Because reason is bounded by these limits, it is unqualified to sit on the throne of ultimate sovereignty. It cannot be the final measure of the universe. If the judge is limited, the entire courtroom loses its authority. Reason leaves a void where the absolute should be, creating a space that it is incapable of filling. This is where the focus shifts from the argument to the axis. Does reason judge revelation, or does revelation judge reason? The concept that fills the void is Al-Furqan, the sovereign criterion. Al-Furqan is the hidden axis of civilization. It is the definitive line that determines how a society decides what is true and what is false. There are two opposing operating systems for reality. Either man is the measure, or Allah gives the measure. Choosing this criterion is the most significant intellectual act a person can make. Once the criterion is chosen, everything else follows. Change the top rule, and every secondary system changes in response. The definition of a right, the boundaries of freedom, and the meaning of gender are determined by that initial measure. When authority shifts, human identity shifts with it. Intellectual liberation comes from realizing that man is not the ultimate measure of the universe. He is the one being measured.